Alright, let's do the next one.
Oh, we can't hear anything from them.
Not yet.
Mad
But if
snow.
that's what they're calling it. Okay, so this is being talked about all over the world.
Well, if it's being talked about all around the world, they should be able to figure it out soon.
Hopefully.
Testing. Okay, these are the requested results of the.
Okay. Jamin Carpenter, I'm gonna read it while you put down your notes. And this is June 10th. Remember, so this is Sunday.
Uh,
Okay. These are the requested results of the ongoing weather event in Madison, Louisiana. The date is June 10th, 1996. The time is 8:08 p.m. My name is Jamin Carpenter, and I am currently stationed at a makeshift facility just outside of Houston.
The
Let's
ongoing
see. Oh, he
weather
has. They
event.
have voice acting, anyways. Of course they do.
The ongoing weather event in Madisonville, Louisiana. The date is June 10th, 1996. The time is 8:08 p.m. My name is Jamin Carpenter, and I am currently stationed at a makeshift facility just outside of Houston. Several samples were collected, 7 from near the town's border, none farther than 10 to 15 feet out. An eighth sample, composed solely of the snow, was taken from within the town itself. For the eighth sample, researchers on site used a metal staff equipped with what can best be described as an ice cream scoop to collect a portion of the Madisonville snow, or the Mad Snow, as it's been nicknamed in recent news reports. Before I continue with this report, I want to state for the record that everything I am about to state is factual, despite how unbelievable it may sound. The findings are deeply disturbing and potentially apocalyptic in nature. I trust that those who hear this report will take it seriously and respond accordingly. We began our analysis with sample 8 to establish a clearer understanding of the substance itself and the conditions currently affecting.
Right. So sample eight's the infected sample, and then that leads me to believe sample 1 through 7 is just normal snow samples from like the north or something. All right.
Madisonville. Sample 8. Mad Snow. The Mad Snow was transported 314 miles in a sealed metal cylinder to reach our facility. The cylinder was not temperature controlled, so we were surprised to find the sample hadn't melted. It looked as if it had just fallen from the sky. You could feel the cold radiating from it, colder than I would have expected, even under the
All
circumstances.
right. This is a microscope, and
After
it's
placing the
little
mad
ice cubes.
snow under a microscope, it came as no surprise that it had very little in common with what we traditionally call snow. Regular
All
snow
right.
is primarily made up of tiny ice crystals, which form when water vapor in the atmosphere freezes. Mad snow, on the other hand, lacks any trace of water and behaves nothing like conventional ice.
well,
The substance
wait,
consists of crystallized sulfur, salt, and an unidentified compound.
Okay.
so
So
I
so
think your theory is off the table then, because if it's a completely different type
so yeah, the
of,
water couldn't have been tainted. It has to be something. It's basically something.
it's something in nature.
Right. So naturally, so it's crystallized sulfur, salt, and an unidentified compound. So sulfur, salt, compound.
Preliminary analysis suggested this unknown material is highly radioactive, and that
Radioactive.
specific component is responsible for the more extreme side effects observed upon exposure.
Ah, wait, I got it.
And
Mix
that
this
makes sense on
That's
why.
substance
melting.
and sprinkle it
Right.
onto a mouse.
You would have to put the mouse in its teeth to have an effect.
The animal dissolved within seconds of coming into contact with the substance. A second mouse was then placed into the cage after the first. It remained unharmed up until it made direct contact with the remains of the first mouse, at which point it quickly dissolved as well.
Okay, so
Okay.
it
So it
spreads.
spreads by touch.
Spreads by touch of either the snow, I put in quotation marks, the snow itself, or of other people. So contagious.
Well, but this isn't good then, because if people are affected by the snow and if the snow stops, then they all die. But if people are already infected by it,
Well, not this means
that's
that
why they're locking down Madison.
right because now it's an infection. Now if the world gets it, then everybody dies within a few seconds. So that raises the question: how is the town surviving? Because unless it's a climate thing and you have to, that gives me the theory that you have to be in constant contact with the snow, because if the mouse immediately dies from the snow, like on contact, it didn't even have the chance. It didn't even have the chance to, like, put it. Maybe if they try putting it into some sort of uh environment and see what happens there. I'm wondering if it's where it has to be contained with all the snow, or if it's a ge- geographical thing where you have to be in Madisonville specifically. So let's see if it gives anything on that.
This, however,
Uh
was
huh.
not our strangest finding. We introduced the remains of the mice to the snow. It absorbed them completely, and the mad snow grew in both size and volume.
Okay.
Attempts to destroy the snow through incineration proved futile, even when exposed to temperatures of 2200 degrees Fahrenheit or 1200 degrees Celsius.
So it's a living organism. It has to be some sort of fungi. So it's a living organism, and um
Living
it's a
organism that kills really easily.
it's also so it's contagious. I I can't. So it's not. It's some. I would think there's probably some sort of amoeba, because it's very resistant to extreme temperatures. So I would say living organism. It's it's either an amoeba or some sort of bacteria. All right.
Yeah.
The snow remained unchanged, intact, and cold. Sample 2. The remains were identified as belonging to Shane Whalen,
All right. Hey,
42.
Shane's back, and he's dead.
Hmm. Well, guys, guess I'm dead. Nah.
40. Okay, just to
42-year-old. That's
42.
actually good. 42.
42. So
42-year-old. So it's probably contagious.
so hold up.
That's what
So
I
if
would say.
42, that means that he date of birth is 1954, if I did that correctly. Yeah, okay.
What would be date of birth?
Huh?
What?
1954.
1954.
3-year-old
I
Whalen was at
mean,
States Crossing. Whalen was the father of 3 and operated a small hardware store in the town center. According to medical records, he underwent routine annual physicals, and, aside from a mild seasonal allergic rhinitis, had no significant health issues. No existing condition could account for the state in which his remains were discovered. Eyewitness accounts indicate that Mr. Whalen exhibited no signs of distress prior to the incident. Multiple witnesses confirmed that he appeared to be in good spirits as he exited the town's limits.
Right, which we
According to
saw.
Evelyn Rue, a primary eyewitness, Whalen had taken no more than 8 steps beyond the boundary when he abruptly began screaming. Rue reported that his verbal outbursts included statements to the effect that he felt like he was on fire. No visible flames or external sources of combustion were observed at the time. Evelyn Rue moved to assist Whalen, but
I
before
got
she
it.
could reach him, she observed his body began to deteriorate rapidly. In her
Yo,
words,
Chris.
it was like someone
What's
sitting
up?
down on a painting.
Wait, can you pause it?
Yeah.
Bro, I think I got it.
What?
So it could be that it goes inside the body, creates a body high enough to be a. So
See,
it's like a flame, but inside your body. I don't know how it would be possible, but from that, that's what I think it.
well, I feel like if we're taking in, like the actual like sciency part of this, I would think my theory is that um when because we know that this is radioactive, when the snow touches the body, it alters the body chemistry to change it to for the average body temperature to be like -50 degrees, like because normal body temperature is like 94 to 99 or something like that, so it might have just decreased to like -50 Fahrenheit. So and then when they walk out of that extremely cold environment, then they experience, even though it might only be 100 degrees, which is like 10 off from a normal human's body temperature, for them it's like 150 degrees higher, which could then and change melt them because it's way too high and melt. Because remember, humans are 75% water, when it comes to cellulars. So if this radioactivity alters the water, maybe makes it into little ice cubes and it crystallizes, when that melts, the human melts with it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I definitely
Okay.
agree there's some sort of internal fire has starts when they leave the city limits because they're going to a new climate.
Well, I do agree with your thing. I do think maybe the temperature might be a little bit less because they said that he was completely fine when he went into the store, which would have like the AC inside it, which
Right, that's the
depending on
one
what the
thing.
AC is, it
They
could
I'm
be
sure they
anywhere
haven't
from 70
adjusted,
to 90.
so it could be because if we're thinking about it, it would have to be it would have to be where they can adapt, and this is if it's a science thing and not a because if it is some sort of thing where it's like you step outside the bounds, then you die type of thing, it looks to be more science. So they would have to be able to be okay with like anywhere from 60 to 80 degrees because that's normal AC temperature, but once they get to that 90 to 100 they start melting, so we'll see what happens there.
The process appeared to take no longer than 15 seconds from onset to completion. Miss Evelyn Rue is currently under observation at this facility. As of the latest evaluation, she exhibits no signs of infection or contamination. Fortunately, Rue was located outside the town limits at the time of the initial snowfall and had no direct contact with the anomalous substance.
Uh,
Analysis of the
I
collected
didn't really hear what
samples
you said because your
revealed
mic lagged out.
Hold up.
biological
Unless you
material,
said something good.
including identifiable components of bone, and the sample appeared to have undergone significant.
So it says that the viscosity is closer to water. So so not only is the water theory, what I'm thinking here, maybe, since the radioactivity of this substance, potentially, maybe instead of humans being 75% water, they're like 95% water now. So, because their blood being water like means that there's much more water in their blood system and in all their organs. So, possibly that has something. I'm going to write that down. So,
Uh,
water like blood. Because remember, that also changes the pH. I know blood is slightly more, I believe it's slightly more acidic. So that just, throws off homeostasis, and I
yeah.
think that, let's see, blood pH, put it up, editor. It's more alkaline, not more acidic. Meaning, if it's going down from 745 to 7, that's not good. That's not good.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
We still got one more part of this, and I think we already.
Viscosity closer to that of water.
What were we saying?
We still have one more part. There's a part three. I think we've
Yeah.
almost figured it out already.
All constituents were consistent with typical human physiology, with the notable exception of trace elements consistent with the substance referred to as mad snow integrated throughout the sample matrix. Samples 3, 4, 5, and 6. Genetic analysis of the sample revealed the presence of DNA consistent with Cardinalis cardinalis, or the northern cardinal. Based on environmental and situational evidence, it is hypothesized these birds fled the area following the onset of the anomalous snowfall. It is further suspected that, similar to the observed effects on human subjects, the avian specimens experienced rapid disintegration upon crossing the town's boundary.
Okay, so it's not only a human thing, it's a biological thing.
DNA analysis of sample 7 identified genetic material consistent with Canis lupus familiaris, specifically matching that of the boxer breed. This finding is supported by the recovery of a canine collar labeled Sinbad, which was found in direct association with the sample. Final thoughts. The substance referred to as mad snow has demonstrated extreme biohazard potential. Individuals exposed to or infected by the material must remain within the boundaries of the town to mitigate risk to both themselves and the external population. Preliminary observations indicate the mad snow is exhibiting growth behavior, both in volume and in the spatial spread. Following controlled experimentation involving murine subjects, the original sample was subdivided into 4 aliquots for further analysis under isolated laboratory conditions. Each of the 4 isolated samples exhibited a consistent and exponential increase in volume, approximately doubling in mass within a 24-hour observation period. The growth rate suggests that, if not adequately contained, the conditions currently affecting Madisonville possesses the potential to expand beyond the town's boundaries in a relatively short time frame.
Okay.
Okay, so here's a few more notes I have about this. Um, so it has exponential growth, which, if this is a growing organism, that means that it has to be, um, what's it called? It has to have a fast rate of cellular growth, which means
Which
that
means it's like a
this,
bacteria or something.
right, this has to be something that can, go, 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 and we'll kind of do the research, and on the next episode, we'll kind of divvy down what that could be, but that's kind of the thing. If it's going to exponentially grow, first thing the state of Louisiana needs to do, call the state of emergency and get everybody evacuated, because If it's exponential, and let's just say the town is 10 miles in diameter, we'll consider it a circle for all purposes. Exponentially means by the next week or next month, the entire state of Louisiana could be infected by this if they don't contain it. So they need to figure this out fast.
Yeah, but how are they gonna stop it?
That's really the
Because it seems
question.
like there's no way to stop it. You see no way of stopping it. I mean, no, my best theory to stopping it. But again, if it's exponentially growing, it's gonna be way too hard to contain.
Yeah. But anyways, over the three things including the prologue, this is like a 35-minute episode. So that's going to be all for today, guys. We'll get part 3 out on its own episode and we'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.
Bye.